Numero uno says Kevin Brennan just got popped 2 minutes into a live stream for hate speech because he was sniping Geno. Oh, were you watching that nightmare stream with that girl? Now, let me be very clear. He's not hitting her. That guy is not hitting that woman. But those two should not be together. She shouldn't be with anybody. I got really uncomfortable watching her. I watched that for a while. And that Scarlett Hampton, she needs a lot of under the hood work. Not shut up, stop it. She needs a lot of head shrinking. And I mean that in the most empathetic way I can say. I'm not saying that as an insult. I got uncomfortable watching her. I'm not saying he's taking advantage of her, because he's not. I'm sure everything he says, he's being genuine. And he may not even see or understand, but she needs to work through some things. I felt I was watching something I shouldn't have been watching, and then seeing people in the chat, like, there's nothing grosser than that Dabbleverse world, because they really don't give a shit if a woman really is beaten or not. They don't give a shit if a woman really is abused. They just care about hating the people they hate, and they'll make whatever they think the truth is fit their narrative. And if it goes against their narrative, I know this because I've been crushing these people for years and making them cope. If they don't get the answer they want, they'll just pretend it's true. And as I watch this Scarlett Hampton woman, and I'm feeling nothing but empathy for her, and she doesn't need to be on the internet. She doesn't need to be paraded about like this, discussed like this. All these people in the chat are like, yeah, she gets beaten. Yeah, they're rooting for her to be beaten so they can treat her like a victim, so they can say Geno's bad. They want this woman to be a victim of domestic abuse even when she isn't. This is mental illness. These people are really sick. I mean, these are people who go, Aaron can't play basketball. Aaron didn't walk home run home 4.5 miles to a gas station. Aaron didn't do that. Only to call a guy who goes, yeah. They called a mentally ill guy who somehow sounded more of a normal person than they were. And they have been spending an entire week coping. The fat mud shark redhead did it again today, spent her time coping because she's not getting her way about the toe. I don't know what to tell you, but to watch a woman who has been through it, you know, the adult industry, the exploitation there, everything else. You know, I don't see any of these people in Geno's chat going to the porn industry who actually abused this Scarlett Hampton and fighting for her at all. So go yourselves. We know what you're doing. I know you hate me because I call you out. You hate me because I see right through you. No offense, guys. It's not that difficult. You just have to have an IQ that's not double digits. But to watch people want a woman to be abused so they can be mad about it and say a streamer they don't like is bad, that's the worst out of all of it. But that Scarlett woman, she needs some help. And I don't think it's right for her to be on the air. You know? But the good thing is, last Friday when we ended the war, and now with this Scarlett thing, I think people are starting to understand and learn that all those people in that world are sick. There's something really wrong with them. And I called it a long time ago, and I nailed it, and I was right, and I hate to brag. But I said everybody outside of that world understands how sick and up these people are, and these people don't understand how sick up they are. But you're starting to see a few leak out, and they're starting to look back in, and they go, holy shit, it was like I was in a cult. These people are weird. They're a problem. I watched that Scarlett girl, and I saw a lot of, I got a little, not triggered, but I had like kind of a whoa moment while I was watching her when she was trying to make everything into a double entendre for attention and then rambling on. I was like, this girl's like the worst days of April. Like I watched her and I'm like, I could definitely see April kind of becoming this if she would have stayed on the road she was on easily. She was almost there. So thank God April got out of all that, the chemicals and the drugs and the nonsense, because that's a rough place to be, man. And I really hope she gets help. Numero uno says she shouldn't be with anybody. No, she shouldn't be with anybody. She should work on herself. She needs to stop with whatever. If she's drinking, she needs to stop. If she's on any kind of pills that aren't prescribed, she should stop. She should be seeing a therapist. Just being in the porn industry in general, it fucks you up so bad because those people don't give a shit about you. And they use you, and then they dump you when they're done with you, and it's gross. Numero uno says, Aaron, you can fix her. Give it a shot. At least let her co-host. No, I wouldn't even interview her for the show. There's not even for the porn industry. And I don't think Chrissy should have her on Simpcast. I don't think Geno and Keanu should have her on again. I think this Matt Mead he's got to be a man, and he's got to protect his lady. You know, you got to be an old school man. You got to be like a Humphrey Bogart, and you got to just tell her you can't do this stuff anymore. You can't be on there streaming. It's bad for your mental health. It's bad to expose yourself to these people. You got to stop DMing them for attention, because those are the bad habits. Those are the toxic habits she's learned being in the life she's been in. The only validation she gets is through the attention of strange men. And she's got to break herself of that, or she can't be in a healthy relationship. So I pray for her that she does, because I don't like watching that shit. I don't know how you can be in a chat and you can watch that shit and you go, oh, it's good spectating. Oh, it's good blood sports. That's the end of our country. That's our death spiral. That's our pact, is watching shit like that and thinking that what you're doing is okay. Or that when you're sniping it, you're not part of our narcissism, lack of empathy, and, sociopathic problem that we have in this country. All of you who enjoyed it should probably be in therapy. 09 Canyon says, nobody wants her to be beaten. That's a retarded take. Go watch what these people say. They 100% want her to be a beaten woman so they can hate her boyfriend and hate Geno. And that's sick. You're either blind or unwilling to see it. It's 100% fact. These people are paper thin and see-through. Dr. Doom says Geno and Kiki trying to make money was a real bad look. I understand what they were going for. I understand that they were going for, these two are our friends, so haha, we're going to rub it in your guys' faces. And I actually applaud Keanu, because I think she was trying to keep her off of there. And you could tell Keanu was uncomfortable having her on there. Geno was just drinking with his friend while he was on there. Sometimes you do things and you think it's a good idea, and it's easy for me to judge other people. I've been doing this for 20 years. I would have never put her on. I would have never, especially in that condition, I would have told her to sit it out. Matt Mead can go on there and do whatever he wants, but I wouldn't have had her on. Numero uno. See, now this is normal. He says, I don't need anyone to be beaten in order to hate Geno. See, there you go. Geno only wanted Rumble rants. I don't think Geno cares, but I think he cares about his friend Matt. I don't think he really gives a shit about the woman. And I don't mean that in I don't think he believes she was abused at all. And I don't think she was abused at all. I mean, if you meet enough people, if you go outside enough, if you spend enough time in the real world, unfortunately, you know people, you know the cry wolves, and you know the real ones. And unfortunately, the thing that was recorded, I think definitely comes from shit like that working in the adult films industry. I think. So, yeah, I'm uncomfortable talking about it, actually. I think we can move on from it. Any of you who got excited for that, if you consider yourself a half-assed decent person, leave that shit alone. Today is the end. You can be done with it now. It's probably good.